Russian fighter making his walk out. Big pop from the crowd for Russia as Mikhail makes his way to the ring for this chess boxing light match. And in the black corner, Giulio Sanfelice from Italy, rocking the Italian uniform there, the proud blue, and the very animated Italian coach we know and love, wrapping up his fighter, getting the gloves on.
Francesco.
Getting ready.
Is that maybe one of the reasons that France has red? Maybe it's just because Italy, it is the host nation, and they just don't want to step on their...
Could be. Yeah, it could be. That makes sense.
But Guillaume did actually tell me that he is a Liverpool fan.
Did he now? Okay.
He did.
That's right, yeah. Liverpool does bleed red.
The Red Devils.
The Red Devils. All right. For those new to Chess Boxing Light, we have a 90-second boxing round to start off. This is with increased protective gear. You see the crossbar on the helmet there. You have 16-ounce gloves instead of 12-ounce gloves. This makes it just a little more forgiving when punches are landed. Fighters are also instructed to throw punches for points, not for power. Refs will even step in to give a signal to decrease power if a fighter is getting a little bit too carried away with the aggression and with the punches. So
rather than give the count, stop the guy and tell him, hey, calm down, buddy.
That's right. And so we have 90 seconds, so punches for points. Whoever gets more points in this round wins a boxing round. Then they go to chess. They'll play 4 minutes of speed chess. And assuming no one is checkmated, they'll come back to boxing for another point match. After that, they'll go back to chess. And if the chess match doesn't finish, then it's actually decided on whoever won more boxing rounds. So if boxing rounds are tied, then it goes to the chess game. And if one person wins the boxing match, one person wins the chess game, then it goes to tiebreaker because we're in a tournament format. So instead of it being a draw, then they'll either have one more boxing or chess round decided by the pick of a pawn, and that will determine the outcome of the match.
So is this the tournament
jabbering away? We're already 30 seconds into this round.
I think it's pretty evenly matched. They're definitely playing within the rules. They're playing touch. There's no pure aggression. They're really trying to play the technical game and going up and down to the body. A lot of head movement. There's no stress.
Good score to the body there. Quick jab from the Russian. Going in with a high guard, leaving his body open. Italian doesn't quite see it. But Russian scoring some more jabs.
He's starting to have this little dirty habit of leaning back, the Russian does, just as if trying to showboat a little bit, but that could lead to trouble. I mean,
especially with these helmets, it's hard to gauge distance control with the crossbar because you basically have an extra inch of hitbox.
Sometimes it is the problem that when the sparring isn't totally honest and the punches aren't hitting all that hard, that you do get these bad habits because you can get away with them.
That's right, yeah. And, this is for fun. Maybe they aren't using their best technique for this. They're playing with each other, maybe trying to showboat a bit because of the light format. But the first... Sounds like the Italian fighter won, being the more active puncher early in the round. So it looks like that got him the decision. So now the protective gear is off. They're on their way to start their chess game. Reminder, this is a 4-minute chess round, and each fighter has 4.5 minutes on their clock.
I really like with this new format that often you have one player who's already at the board. The other fighter hasn't even exited the ring yet. It's like, I'm back, I'm up for it. Let's start this. Let's get this on.
Usually the board is in the ring. This is a new setup being innovated on by the Italians where they exit the ring, go onto the stage, and I really like the stage setup. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, and as I said to Peter, the other day. If you can't walk across, to the stage, you shouldn't be boxing. So, in a sense, it's a bit like walking on that line. It's
tripping on a stair. So might need a second guess going back to the ring. So we do have a very interesting opening here. Mikhail coming out with the B pawn first, and then fianchettoing his dark square bishop. And then a very standard opening from...
yes, it is, but he could have just snatched that pawn off on e5. 92. Okay, well, he definitely doesn't want to take the pawn on e5. He's making a stance. It's maybe an artistic thing against hurting his opponent too much in the chess either.
And taking with development. White ahead on development and space right now.
Black has castled. White still needs to castle, but if I was him, I would just grab that pawn with the pawn, and now it's actually a fork.
Yeah, really, really strong move, D to E5.
He definitely should take a few seconds to see that one, and
he doesn't do it.
He doesn't do it.
And now the opportunity is lost.
Okay, it's still kind of there in the background. Oh, okay, well, he didn't need to. He didn't need to, and now knight takes knight will disrupt the structure on the king side. It's not so much to get the attack on the king. It's much more at this point just to exchange pieces because you're a piece up. So you're going to be able to take the knight, exchange the queens, move your king. You don't even have to move it to f1. You can move it to the center of the board because you're just going to liquidate the rooks on the e file and then pick up that pawn again. That's the one that's lost, and the bishops are going to play. I mean, this is just a field day.
That's right.
Oh, well, no, it's okay. The bishop is, but it's just not the optimizing move, and the optimizing move was kind of an easy one to see.
Easy for us to see from this comfy chair ringside, and after a boxing round and heart rate up can be a little bit more difficult. But he does not take back the pawn on d4, and now it's protected adequately.
Okay, I think you should just bring that other rook to d1. Just seems extremely... he's aiming at the king. He could just move his queen up to align with the bishop and just look towards h7, the square diagonal to the black king.
Furthering the pressure on that d4 pawn, but also threatening checkmate.
The knight moving to the... milling to the defense, I wanted to say, almost.
Opting to remove a defender, but really... kind of adding a defender with the pawn retaking.
Queen takes now. Okay, this is fairly obviously better for white.
So white with a slight advantage in the chess game, but we are moving to our second boxing match, boxing round rather. So we'll come back to a position on the chessboard with a slight advantage to white, and we'll see if Russia is able to equalize in the boxing, which will force it to come down to whatever the outcome is in the chess match.
So Russia won the first round, and he's also up on chess. So I'm guessing he's not going to be losing that chess match. He's at least going to be not finishing it. So I'm guessing he's a big favorite at this point.
That's right, and nice to see our friend Daniil, the Russian, in the corner.
He's the best
for the Russian. Such a long-standing chess boxing fighter from Russia, two-time world champion, and working the corner of his teammate before getting into the ring himself later tonight in a amazing finals matchup against Jules from France. Can't wait for that matchup.
I can't either.
All right, the Italian fighter is also good to go, getting his last instruction from his coach. And the Latvian referee is signaling the fighters to the corner. Seconds out. There's the bell. We have 90 seconds. And here we go. Russian fighter opting to leave his lead hand down and lands a nice little up jab as the first point landed in this round.
Lots of pendulum stepping.
Good 3-punch combination lands for 2 of those punches land for Russia, but 2 jabs have landed for Italy in the same amount of time. Interesting little lead hook. Cross lands on the chin. If you do hear the background noise, the other microphone, we do have a ChessBoxing Fit competition going on at the same time on our side stage. Very interesting format as well, which we'll talk about in between rounds. But back to the last part of this round, 2 good body punches landed to the Italian fighter. For the Italian fighter.
I've never been a fan of these, these wide guards. It goes against the principles. I'm a very principled chess player, so when I bring that to boxing, and I see people do something that is completely outside of the rule box, I'm very skeptical at first. I'm skeptical, don't you?
Skeptical guy. And there's the bell. Pretty even boxing match. I do think the Russian gave forth more effort in this boxing round. He may have edged it out, but yeah, I do think that the cleaner, better punches, maybe to your point, with the unconventional stance and kind of not joking around, but more laissez-faire kind of movement from the Russian, I do think that the Italian may have gotten both boxing rounds.
Excuse me, judges mistake.
Oh, of course.
Unanimous decision of this round is the white corner, Mikhail, Grigorev.
There it is. Okay, Russia equalizes the boxing rounds, which means this will come down to the chessboard. And back on the chessboard, white, the Russian, the white Russian.
The white Russian, yes. Maybe he has aristocratic descent.
Or a favorite drink.
Oh.
But he has the advantage on the chessboard nonetheless. And the last move being queen to e5, retaking the pawn. Interesting, offering a trade of queens.
Yeah, that would not have been my first choice at this point. The king is just way too open, and the bishop pair is just so formidable.
I think
as
h5 looked good there.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Just keeping it on, even if there isn't anything. You don't have to see the win. You just have to kind of feel
and put some pressure on. Yeah.
Definitely. Now he's lining up those bishops. That rook d8 would have kind of at least asked a question. It probably gets a pretty rapid answer with rook e4, defending that d4 bishop. But
if I'm black, I don't want to be trading off, though. So I think,
rook d8 to line up the bishops. That's what I meant.
That's true.
But it doesn't actually work. It doesn't actually work. So, but on a misunderstanding, who knows?
Scooping up a free pawn and further opening up the king. We should look for the a1 rook to come into play here soon. Maybe moving to e1.
I would just push that king, the pawn in front of the king. I'll just push it from 2 squares and then another square, and I'll just do it that way because no, there must be some kind of mistake here.
He's really just trading a rook for a
no,
bishop there.
He's not. It's he just gave.
Well,
okay, but
yeah,
I mean, something was lost somewhere around down those lines. Yeah. But okay, I mean, this is a resignable position, and I don't think that. But maybe if he doesn't finish in time, is that? Oh no,
the bell's for ChessBoxing Fit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have plenty of time left here.
How long do we have here? What other rounds is it?
4-minute rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the starting time, but the timer starts with 4.5 minutes on each clock. So
that was
minute and a half. We have another minute here, which I do think he can finish this in a minute.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. He seems to be taking his time here.
Well, he's bringing his king up. I mean, he knows his way, and sometimes the fastest route to somewhere is the one you know.
Well, I think he might just be doing a rook checkmate. Lining up the king with the rook.
I'm pretty much sure.
The king with king.
And he could have done it. He didn't need to wait. He could have just gone there. But he wants to wait a little longer. The pleasure last the pleasure.
I guess so. He just keeps walking him down. I don't understand.
Well, he better not do it too much because.
What is happening?
I do not know.
Is he playing with him?
Cat and mouse. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there's the mate. Okay. All right. Russia takes that victory. Maybe a little superfluous in how many moves it took to get it done, but he gets it done nonetheless. And will advance in this quarterfinal match in the under 90 category. Mikhail from Russia advancing over Giulio from Italy.
And the winner